Hey fellow coders, today I'd like to give you an overview of AiderDesk, which is a desktop application built on top of Aider with additional functionalities like MCP servers or Agentic flow. As you may know, Aider is a terminal tool, similar to Claude Code from Anthropic or Codex from OpenAI. It's been around for a while, and Aider is very good for coding, specifically for engineers. Looking at the main view of AiderDesk, you can see that you can have multiple projects open simultaneously. If you're working with multiple projects, you can switch between them seamlessly. Let's go to Settings, as this is an important part for connecting to Aider. When you're connecting to Aider, you can set up custom options, which you know from Aider. If you go to the configuration page, you'll see all the options for Aider. The same goes for environment variables, where you can set up your API keys for OpenAI models, Anthropic models, and additional options. You can also have a look at Aider's documentation. In the main view of AiderDesk, you have the main area, which is basically a chat area with your AI model. On the top, you can set up the model you're currently working with. You can switch between them seamlessly. The most recent models are at the top. You can clear them if you don't use them anymore. The main model is used for coding. You can see some information about max input tokens, max output tokens, and input and output costs for the model. You also have a weak model here, which is set by Aider, but you can override it if you want. At the bottom, under the prompt field, you can see that you can switch between different modes when working with AiderDesk. You should be familiar with Code, Ask, Architect, and Context from Aider. Code is used for coding. Ask if you want to ask questions, Architect if you want to do planning and execute changes, and Context if you want Aider to find out what files should be added to the context for a feature. You can also use commands to switch between those modes. If you just want to ask questions, you can use the lock button to lock it so it always stays in ask mode. Another important part of AiderDesk is the context files. These are the files that are in Aider's context, so it can work with them. AiderDesk gives you the possibility to manage context manually. Using the add action, you can add some files using this dialog. You can use add commands. You can switch between read-only files and normal files. The powerful feature of AiderDesk is the ability to connect to your IDE. So if I go to my IntelliJ IDEA, I have a plugin enabled here, which is called AiderDesk Connector. And this allows me to automatically manage context files in AiderDesk. You can add file to the context just by opening it and remove by closing it. So you can open multiple files, and if you don't use them anymore, just close them in the IDE, and they will be dropped from the context in AiderDesk. Additionally, you can switch to All Files mode, which gives you access to all the files in your project, letting you manually add or remove them from the context. Another powerful feature is called Agent Mode. When you switch to Agent Mode, you'll see the model being used at the top in the project bar. In the Tools section, you can set up or pick the specific tools or MCP servers you want to use. AiDRE is also available as additional tools for coding tasks. In the agent settings, you can choose from different providers and their models. If you don't set an API key here, it will use the one from either your environment or your AiDRE settings. I won't go into much more detail about this feature in this video, as there's a separate video available that explains agent mode more in depth. Another nice feature of AiderDesk is session management. Here, you can have your history of your sessions. I can load only messages or load only files, depending on your use case. For example, if I load the NPX Windows issue, which I was working on, you can see your message and how AiDRE solved this issue. Another very cool feature of AiderDesk is the ability to see the search replace blocks as a Diff View, and if you don't like a particular change, you can easily revert it using this button. AiderDesk is evolving rapidly, so expect even more features soon. We value your feedback, so please share your thoughts as we continue to build AiderDesk together. Have fun coding. Thanks.